Washington State University's renowned equine surgeon, Dr. Robert Schneider, lends his expertise to emeralddowns and the local thoroughbred and horse community approximately 1 day per month at the Morris J. L. Haddoff Equine Hospital. Stem cells and their effects on mammals have been prominently discussed in the past decade or so, but it's no surprise that Dr. Schneider is ahead of the curve in this area. In fact, all horse breeds in Washington are currently benefiting from stem cell research and application.
A stem cell is a cell that has the potential to differentiate or progress or develop into another cell line.
Dr. Schneider is conservative yet confident in stem cell technology.
This is a new technique. Everybody reads about stem cells in popular magazines, a very popular topic because it has a lot of potential, but right now it's still unproven potential. Yeah, we've been doing this for about 4 years, and we've probably done, I don't know the exact number, but somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 horses. And I'm old, and I'm the historical control because I know what tendons and ligaments healed like before this treatment. And we have had some very impressive cases.
The preseason pass cameras were present for a stem cell procedure on a warm blood jumping champion from Kent by the name of RoboCop.
He's here because he has a serious ligament injury in his rear limb.
Dr. Schneider performed the procedure with the help of Dr. Jim Jorgensen of the Veterinary Hospital staff.
We brought him in, we surgically prepared the area over his hip bone. We like to get the bone marrow from the hip bone because it has a higher number of stem cells in it. There are other locations where we can get the bone marrow. One in particular commonly used is right between their front legs and their sternum. And it actually is the exact same hip bone that they use to draw marrow in people. We do sedate the animal with a sedative, but it's done standing. And we do a local anesthetic block over the bone. And we make a very small little stab incision with a small scalpel blade, and then we take the large bone marrow needle and we drive it into the bone, into the middle of the bone, into the marrow cavity, and then we aspirate out the bone marrow. It's a very painful procedure for human beings. Horses are much more tolerant of the procedure, but there is some mild discomfort when you put the suction on the marrow cavity and draw out the bone marrow. But horses tolerate it very readily, and it's not near as painful for them. I think probably to do with muscle, with volume that we're taking out. This one went routine. It's always hard to aspirate the bone marrow because it's not like drawing blood. It takes some time to suck it out of there. But yeah, it went very uneventful. One placement of the needle, and we got our 25 mils of marrow that we need to send to the laboratory.
Dr. Schneider explains what happens to the marrow after extraction.
We send it to a laboratory in Colorado. They culture the stem cells. First, they harvest the stem cells out of the bone marrow, and then they culture them in cell culture to increase the numbers of cells. They're frozen down to minus 80 degrees. So they're frozen into a low pellet, and then they are shipped to us on dry ice overnight. They ship us back somewhere between 5 and 10 million stem cells that we then implant into the injured ligament or tendon.
As we've heard, it's not a brand new process, and this one went by the books.
Today we were able to get all the amount of bone marrow that we needed from his hip bone.
In our next preseason pass, we'll be back with Dr. Schneider and RoboCop for the insertion of the stem cells. We'll also get Dr. Schneider's learned opinion on a number of equine topics.